Abusiamo bibia kwaba na memfa Bremege TV and platform we eso. Nyankopon enkoso a enhira papa eni abibia mo support am de mai e platform we eso. Na abusia OSP ena atik. Ayasemo MPP for echiremu a MPP for echiremu a OSP no aye bra na na do da kwate so na oye ne ho ti sa akoda osu Supreme Court no mani nye chese omu chiremu a na ono ankasa no na no peso be ne dwuma anase na nye obia ne hante no sansem mo ye MPP for kan enokware sa yenko na yenko ti sa conversation no medika ka cho sisi MPP omu kasa bi ombeka bia no it is rather what keeping them in opposition the more because ami say nkogo no mudi no omu ni any remorse bia omu ni enuhu bia de ma omu ho and they don't have any kind of ethics say ombe apologize to Ghanaians amasa nchono mudi no Ghana for mobo na on the next election no motimi ababan mu bio and seman kabia ko so mu bio mu anoka no utimu say out of contest and any question ka this time no omukasa ansem no yenkoti ensani bi emfabra we Peace FM bra kadna odi kukuruku dwumadie no ehihye so yenkoti ensani emfabra de koba bidna kayina ebeto aso awayem platform so hanum number 1 authentic platform Mega TV abusia meso so be subscribe na like dwumadie na wa share na do comment aton e bibia timi akoso yenkoti ensani emfabra
ko settings aso be subina won Ghana for mu humi mobo na judiciary na kutia me. And you see that as corruption is, you are fighting corruption is fighting you, creating the impression say oh no born humodin na judges in embuano. Meanwhile, when you take a flawed case to court, do you expect what other outcome do you expect apart from say Master for some Kofi? What is here? And he comes to say, oh no, dear, there is frustration from the judiciary. No, I am going and
even civil society, including Mazda.
Yes.
More frustrating.
You see, if you look at the amount of money we're investing in that office and the outcomes, we have every right to be concerned. What is it?
But he's telling you hindrances are share and don't mean
hindrances
call to frustrating.
You see, if you bring a terrible case, you expect the judge to rule in your favor because you are OSP. Is that what you are saying?
But if you say OSP pa betimi akoko to abra onim so oni case.
Na sisi da pai wamba nkokot. Later they no catch say oni manye anke nyon ne so diko. What has here? Look, near why look, we have a lot to do when it comes to the fight against corruption. And he's dwarfing the germane issues. Because what Beye says here, the conversation is about you didn't have the right to call Obi fugitive, criminal fugitive, and now fugitive. Says here, what why didn't you take it? And the main issues about corruption, no. At the end of the day, young can want some more. And it disables you from getting enough evidence to proceed to court. Look,
what if he has already?
Mustafa Hamid, one friend that, one children that. What is here? But you are creating the impression, say, you are seriously investigating Onyaku without even writing to Nipano. How do you expect you see, one fundamental rule in criminal justice is the right to be heard. You are accusing Obise why Bibi Boni. And at the risk of speaking to the issues he may or may not take to court. In the case of Mustafa Hamid and MP in Samsemi, he was basing his case on a newspaper publication. And yes, no now investigation in BBO. Or see there is a newspaper publication our reference 1.3 billion. Now MP Okromu net worth is saying. Nani Baba Akube 1.3 billion. 300 million Ghana cedis and yes Kakumao. Now I cover 1 billion account. And the basis for accusing Nipano said there is a newspaper publication. You have not invited Nipano, you have not invited the publisher Mpo. to ask about the further and better particulars in respect of KC. What Bejina Yenim telling us the cases you are pursuing, but you see, if you look at the act talks about disseminating information to relevant authorities. What he's doing is not dissemination of information to relevant authorities, but he's engaged in PR.
Okay.
And there are concerns about what the PR is meant to achieve. And the major
Mate,
what is here?
But
Mami Dominic D. M. You see, Yeka Mami Benunami Yeka
Mema Bebe Nebu.
You see, Yeka I read here once Yeka once and once no. Neka ahwidi ananya sa neka no.
I said the ode ahwidi ebe if you order once na buy.
It doesn't fit my that
the opposite can here utu akrafo na utu momone for.
Exactly. That this method.
What gambaga etu ebu momone ho be wa akra.
Look, what the Attorney General has done is wrong on all levels.
Oh really?
Yes. If you feel strongly about the weakness in the case of the Attorney General, let the court prove that. Let the court vindicate them. Is that simple for me? Oh, because one of it is to fight people who are alleged to have been engaged in acts of corruption.
Simple. And
you are not there to prosecute only one side of the political divide. By dropping these cases against Unkrofi, it disables you morally from pursuing other people. And corruption is not supposed to be fought, but must be seen to be fought. What is here? If you say the current governor and acting governor, the case, what is here? Let that be proven in court. If all the cases, what is here? But Matisse, there was an advice in respect of that particular case. He said, the former Attorney General must not pursue. Or say, but they say there is a memo. If indeed there is a memo, then there is a problem. But in any event, you are not bound by the memo anyway. But you could say, well, you want to act with the content of the memo. Would you to say we discontinue case? No. How about the others? And your first, you can say, official ejuma was to drop these charges against these people. Going forward, how do you bring charges against other people? And how do you pursue other cases? And the question I'm asking is, are these the only cases he feels strongly the Attorney General does not have?
For now, yes.
For now, yes.
Yes.
There are many other cases of politicians.
And is about discontinue. But for now, the one who know
I think, sir, it doesn't help our collective fight against corruption.
Mate.
And look, I'm not saying they are innocent or they probably would be guilty. But if you feel strongly about Bibi, let the court show, say, indeed they have a superior case. Mate. But to drop it and dropping it, you can say how do you call it? The imagery is not nice.
Okay. All right.
Because these are NDC4 and it sends a very worrying signal. That's just my concern about.
Alice, he didn't sing Ankwanuma. So let me.
Ankwanuma crazy money because copyright.
Remember, I honorable Fatih Abubakar. Now for pa now can who answer. Auntie Fatih.
Nana.
Yes, madam.
Where do you have been starting free? Special prosecutor ne Honorable Ken Ofori Atta. In fact, Mbejidi says a special prosecutor, Mr. Ken Agyapong, if he reads the room, he will know, say he is alone in this. And he is alone in this not because Obi Taino. And now say the claim that corruption is fighting him. It is because he is wrong on all levels.
Oh, but so be or fight corruption be
and well-meaning people, educated people, lawyers, anyone who understands acts. Now they establish office of special prosecutor no. Untimi njina mrebia so emfan supporting Mr. Ken Agyapong. Niedi kan no. Mami nsi asema me bra panyi e kan no so. Office of Special Prosecutor no It is an anti-corruption agency, not a PR agency. Anti-corruption agency. And as a special prosecutor, wunye nyame. Wutumi ni authority ni nyina within the confines of the act. They establish your office no. Tumi a act na fa ma no, untimi mfa bi mbeka ho. The object of the act under section 2 of the act no, actually say wo no be corruption, wo benya proceeds of corruption, no prevent corruption. Wo dwuma ni nyina no. Enu nti ne fa o. Enti at the end of the day no, the responsibility is on the OSP to do proper investigation. He has powers to even arrest. He has powers of police. Enti so mo to so be amfa complain and bakra. We are diligent work to investigate her. He will be able to proceed to prosecute. Now, so we are section 3 subsection 2 of the OSP Act. The system of reporting. As is a we are successful prosecution. Now we recover proceeds. As I say, would the report to come Attorney General's office near the kind near Tosu Mienu. As I say, would your publications on at least 2 dailies mo. On your website. Any website naturally Juma Waye. And even the extent of PR, any what you are expected to say no, and one random. What is the OSP doing now? Especially in this Ken Agyapong's case. One, he has peddled falsehoods, and I will prove those falsehoods based on one press conference or and on the basis of that press conference, the OSP should resign. On the basis of peddling his own falsehoods, and the way he went about it was so dangerous that if we allow him to go to bed and sleep peacefully, and well-meaning Ghanaians don't raise any questions about the conduct of the OSP, we are in big trouble. Because ebien na de Ofori Atta ochina ebeye me ochina na ebedru so obi a begene de
me de oni me na nya fine don't for me fishery
dey kind. Mr. Agyapong so declare Ken Ofori Atta as a fugitive in the press conference. Me pacho ebi a fugitive no complicated obi ntiase enti yenko Miriam Webster dictionary or definition of who a fugitive is. Or say a fugitive is a person such as a criminal suspect or witness who tries to elude law enforcement, especially by fleeing the jurisdiction. End of quotes. Honorable Ken Ofori Atta, as at the time of Ofori Ghana, there was no criminal investigation or suspicion, any suspicion or any activity relating to say a penalty. He was not entitled to travel. He walked through the airport as a free man. He notified the then chief of staff, Fremont of Paris. Okoye started the treatment on 22nd January. He wrote to the current chief of staff, Honorable Julius Zebra. He added his email addresses. He added the details of his lawyers that should they need him, because he served in capacity as finance minister and later as presidential advisor. Even if there is no criminal proceedings, there may be a time when we hear information be an abibia. Even the current administration, people still reach out to us. Transition period netchem. That's what they believe say obe kind bibi obetime dia boa ama aban no adwuma akoso. They will call you and ask say what kind this process, when they in charge, when the information where you the be. So he, out of the goodness of his heart, wrote to the current chief of staff, Honorable Julius Zebra, said, "Me wa have me condition. Maybe I'm here me for BB. This is how you reach me." 2 days after that, which is the 24th of January, and Sagna OSP, actual letter so we invite no, so one brand office for interview or the letter no, ekoja woni fee. Tieni you, and Ken Ofori Atta's travel for medical treatment in US was not occasioned by any invitational OSP de Breno. Say be we inviting no so umbra and out adiche ya what is so sorry macha fa the bag adwane a obeka say probably this is the reason enti a wo to kwan. That did not happen. Otro ya so awokoja wo ni fie no lawyer straw enye no pe Omuma Mayo Clinic, hospital now, all the treatment, etro. The identity of the hospital on my website, how to read them, the name of the doctor who gave that notice ni bibia the can home aoje. Oh yeah, what sorry about the press conference. So who declare no as a fugitive that there is a purported letter and a purported raid. And the dangerous thing that the OSP said about the raid of Ken Agyapong's house, I want to quote him. Me paraphrase it. This is what Mr. Agyapong said in his press conference, and I quote: "The OSP did not raid your house on Tuesday, 11 February 2025, or on any other day. Our intelligence, our intelligence points us to state that the purported raid on Mr. Ofori Atta's residence was staged, or at best an imposter action, an attempt to court disfavor for the OSP and derail the investigation." What? End of quote.
Intelligence getting quite porous. If this is the intelligence you had, say it was staged.
Or say the intelligence, one can say what
intelligence.
OSP as an establishment, intelligence or more, say Honorable Ken Ofori Atta, our opposition. A bit more causes our soldier 4 days do. And the police in Bakwa home. Aquachi Ora Richard Japa, and the idea. And your matina 4 white pickups, and any V8, and your mababe boy running fee. I'm on match a pistol, and you run it them. Akosra ko matching a man in the bush for from. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And this man has said all this and gone scot free, or did he know what that? Not an apology, not anything. Even when videos, pictures, surveillance from Honorable Ken Ofori Atta, Efie Abba, those who went there. The majority leader, Honorable Ayariga, has apologized. Said what happened there was wrong because they knew, say, it was not staged. They knew, say, Ken Ofori Atta ntimi nkobo a soldier for pa. And the national security operatives are omudimbo mata diemu nipa mienu. Any police ni bako. Any Richard Japa. Awo ye NDC ni kuku dam omu security capo kese bako operation. Awo no soldier for apamo no so otiminya to me and match soldier for the robi fee. If you are not competent to be a soldier, can you be competent to lead soldiers to man them to people's houses? I'm a brave sorry, I would die no wada. Obi a wakochi to obi fi akojina na busu ya forso or da no wada. Na OSP etimia bebie na no abeka che Ghana phone na say or no intelligence on can say speculation no or say the intelligence say it is state or at best a imposter action to cause disaffection for him. Abedi are trying to say I'm trying to chiniwiase fana baby ama BBC a publish a throwaway at the fugitive tag ato Ora Ken Ofori Atta so ama international media baby a papa no obiano omuni muni oye wo Ghana ye born the charge ye hu Ofori Atta charge sheet ye hu the bill of indictment and so ye the fugitive keshire kese ato no so e de akoto international media mu OSP mepa achew I say, oh, my who footage I say in fact it wasn't staged. And to where the nipa ya form me form as I say member fati where the one can ye Mr. Obeka. Ni okonsuo na boy hina nipa form. But for him to have the impetus to be quiet and have any little authority left to say or pursue any action, no, it's just funny. It's unbelievable. On the basis of the intelligence, no, and then the intelligence team, no, more misleading, no, say there was a stage raid, you know, it should have been the basis for him to resign. After no one heard footage, you know, because I can offer to be about the power, Uncle Boris and Japa, Epa, only to be in opposition, and Uncle France soldier for so buried in the fee. and I think said the military should also take interest in this matter. So OSP intelligence actually say can Ofori Atta to me boa soldier for ano de omoba ni fie be ready ho dia, they should be concerned.
Indeed, I'm also concerned about my time this morning.
Until my men can. Oh, the really I said be Jabi Mambra. On the second issue, which is AG versus former AG. As I say, no, ora nadani okal. Ebi muzo so ora nadani oare operation clear all looters. Because you see, and this nipa de zupa de prison fatao. Now you NPP need dia obodwe. Enti nyame andi e ho afofie. Ama the prosecution of setting am tamaklo a odi maslok sika e de koma kantamanto ne adwadifo omu dwahye NCA for a prosecute omo venture capital for a prosecute omo if the cases had not concluded and ne enka Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine enkomu nyina wa mo wasensan mama mutinto time. And there are those who are making arguments say so when to me prosecute within the 8-year period and yeah it is enough basis say one jail case na manunko. Let me say microphone say asemoya see yes say the wheels of justice may turn slowly but they grind fine. See there are some ekoto asenibia dey so temuafo ana temuafo mua. They have the responsibility to exhaust every legal procedure and go through everything because you say it is better to free 1,000 criminals than to convict one innocent man. Intino Obeko Court, say High Court or Court of Appeal or Supreme Court, there are several criminal cases that will exceed 1 term or 2 terms. It is because a state do not air prosecute. It is not NPP. Any NPP are buying a prosecute you. It is the state. Now state need prosecute are the authority of the state. Our judicial authority though, vested in the judiciary led by the Chief Justice. It does not expire with the political tenure of anyone. Now let me read a small portion of the okay only a beja when you have to later into a random lekayine obaye or say Republic versus Johnson Pandit Siama and 5 others the Unibank case which the UT Bank case which Republic versus Stephen Opuni and 2 others Kokobo the which
Sedo Agongo also which and yeah no kwa or say so Republic versus Kwabena Dufo and others Unibank case with and yeah no kwa Republic versus Collins Dauda and others Sagleme case no with or say Republic versus Ofosu Ampofo and another recording no with I just say Republic versus KCL Lato Forcing and another with say what she should be crack and what you and to know where body draw the yen trying dim. Yes, say $200 million project and the chum. No real coco. Or no the yen trying dim. Near Wakode Ka Yachina Kwako 2 1 trying. This is the kind of precedent. A man bufu politicians Momo who say there are some individuals that we are pitching to be above the law. And let me state this on record, as mentioned by Honorable Godfrey Dame. Or say under 8 years our President Kufuor Bedi Akonya. Any 8 years our President Kufuor Dudi Akonya. Not once did we use the Office of Attorney General to discontinue high-profile political cases that border on financial crimes. It never happened. Everything crying now NDC 4 years a President Kufuor the clearing agents, you know, it is either CID and a investigation or mutuemu. It is either OSP, it is either Shraj, and now in some instances a bipartisan parliamentary committee in a investigation. And no po omoto President Kufuor Dudi. Now we are executive authority now ye dey ama penya and then authority dey ama Attorney General under the 1992 constitution or by and was say NDC need there and then NDC need your minister no diska on srohwe because what would it take? Dangerously, to lead to a withdrawal. And discontinuation of cases in a bill one microphone nana ye umumienu eba withdrawal so prosecution no say prosecution na bind the court na prosecution no boni nkro wie na fe wo kasa asem no me nka bi no withdrawal unim say asem ntimi san fa o court bi o asan
oh asem na
ai asem na ho yentimi san fa o court bi o
okay
ye be akwete ne a discharge o yentimi san prosecute bi o so onwie ni case a e no mo file nolly prosecutor no mo twa so ho a e be discharge o ba won nya acquitted and then in the future aban foforo na obi foforo ba no interested to prosecutor. And in all these cases obeje di say in some of the cases omo file preliminary objection e wo court I say yeah court no kasa asem no who here there is no case to answer ebi koya kodru Supreme Court and the superior courts established on the records of the court said there was a case to answer. And it is not just limited to the prosecutors at the Attorney General's office who did the investigation. It is not just getting the approval of the AGs to prosecute. Even at the courts, omo objections omo de kwenti yesi a case to answer. Prosecution abodi crew. In some instances, even the defense omo so abebo omo crew the omo witnesses aba. Asem ni ye wi aye be summarize abebua. Osimbatwitwa ni nyina mu. Aden o se jachi kwesi de ni jaye because the lawyer for say ono de omo gidi say odibim. Enti omo betima san omo tinti ne yentwem. Enti ne aka bebre na wotwam ni nyina no creating the impression in the minds of Ghanaians say we mu de omo ya ndisi for no omo di for trodo ye ni gidie se court no ebua atentene ne a ebeba omo akofie. Enti we de to me na ye de ama AG's officer obetimi e de amassage prosecution kakra yemfa yi omo. Mesi adwo amansa oma ho ayemobo na okowi akokọ a ono agi ntwana semu sa wokoji quick loan ya be chew de wokọ a agi ntwa wasemu na mo mu be di minister dia say aya ne say gidigidi omo suspect say president we ne a kire no say ebe hye NDC appointees kutupa say oh ye chiri court ye dan a ye wo kamafo e wo twagefo abey a very dangerous precedent. And say the Honorable Attorney General say there is any precedence of yenya bambi discontinue high profile financial crime and as causing financial losses cases they should reference it.
Mate Honorable Numsio why da foforo so wa see mfa free into that
when the court dey can be bre ho na ye me de
mate ho na ye o failed no mate ase me sabe do say dey teacher ni ntimi ma 2 minutes go wait me abon po
minia
I would have bon po
sir
fatine idea article dey
so fatine no pay we hiti na say we jan na fi o hwe kakra go me bonus simple
okay
I'm the asema ye kani na ne fapim na agina corruption do ye dem ya corruption asema na ye kan host na ye hwe office of the special prosecutor na yezi Attorney General na asemi baka ho ni nara dem robaya ye ba kwantia corruption na am the dem kase na rekodi na bede etifu wankasa wa judge de wo hwe sisara mo rekodi ya biara corruption ni ebutena he bibi mo aye ya biara restate ya he na ye rehwe ebutumi ya reset from the side of corruption and another within the space of corruption ebutum ya reset him on money ebutumi akada ya break corruption na azi I think that it leaves a lot to worry. Sunday say she special prosecutor mo start ozurukoya na Attorney General nominating Osama for boy Jesus man for nyan there also be a watch law for so many years watch lawyers who the krom has na wafan Attorney General name there is a very best but and more was start to tree which is the NDC who be crampo no are not so happy about so far ne approach another well wishing Ghanaians and you're happy about it when you na mama kan kesa na pay there no mama kasa net President John Dramani Mahama say na kasa
ojitum de corruption oye hawa onam do magana fo titiri oto abazaman massively win this number of votes ozbe ye manpanyin bie okrum ha no corruption komono anka kamakuti Clement or kamakuti kwesema nudrum pono it should have been the first issue of organizing national forum and a dialogue on it was Sunday for almost every facet of our life. Ozin can start the economic forum, he education, all the sectors I can ask him now. The fundamental issue them sectors in a challenge or can see or corruption.
Mate. Ode mami so wano wa he na ya besa to aso da wofro. Penny o kan say we say friend Clement Abeidu. Clement Abeidu eno ye penny a oda Africa Center for Environment and Sustainability ano ikon if can sense Africa. Atik Mohammed ono so ne penny oda Mass Action for Sustainable Development ano Mazda. Then honorable Fati Abubakar enche bia no ne soafo a ohwe aman bonsem so. Ene de wo ye choba una ena oye ne choba kakra honorable Fati ene fam ko choba ho ati ni engodi di awza for ha ena no pay so ye demo AC me jamu nyina na mu na mada Dr. Farade Sinkene
NTCC die utie nsema ekoso a na chese MPP fo e blidi pa sisi omo na moye omu sisi omo efa oyemu and eyomu ya so omo wo position no se me medi omo a medi omo a enka said ye nimu sikwe it is likely say MPP is not coming to power anytime soon. So once the ways so once ways MPP is not coming to power anytime soon if they did not change their ways. So once musu any mobile they will be in opposition for a decade. Because over ade bi omo kan party malusu such an embarrassing defeat way such an say enye izo na MPP for way ena no permit ya enkofo yo mo adi do you know say kufo eye atamos bi kufo ya atamos bi bra yura atamos mu yi no as a president no kufo nso the special initiative bi by before say obeding obi free abaimu or the niema bi by before say obeding obi free abaimu. So ye bisa moka ise 2017 so ya osafo mafo 2017 unim so mu ye NDC you see sadie we na e high no ade bia wo krom ha bia ya politicize no ade bia wo krom ha bia including our chieftaincy ene ukopiem mankuruku boko ni sa na manimu ya ntokoye koso ya obekom no na some particular political party be have interest. Ubekum no na political party be have interest in it. 2017 Brian DC free so omo ya niema bi omo fa nipa bi putupuru nipa bi after 7 December ena osafo mafo senior minister then obai yomu nyina di ono nso yi omo nyina eden edi oyomu nyina edi intene say dru honom if you do me I do you adem se sa na ekoso Ghana politics if you do me I do you na se enenso monso makofa nipa na yewura John ene ni chief of staff terminate contract na ana terminate appointment na mo se mo nti ase mo di court na bi na agyeginam. Let me tell you, when na bi wo ho wonsem enche special prosecutor ebeko aso obi atete ho tu ato de nka ne hwan kobotra jatana na bi obi atete ho etu ato no enka woni hwan yo ekoye de ekobotra jatana ma enka bibi mfa nkirew wagyeginim no also yebeso OSP ebeso because we know clearly say nyama boni ene nyama tantanya MPP for mobile bidi o mine no you na Boachi, you are part of it oka ho entiene se sa nyama wi akoso no ma terminate my appointment you are there championing everything I am fanko court wa you ready brana yen court really nana be really some of you bubesu mama ukruma enti sa OSP ni de na mugusu amoka masa unja OSP ni na onyo neduma and to say munyana ntie second Ofori Atta ba bi obi ano we a very entrusted source munyana ntie entrusted source Mianka say a reliable, you say entrusted source. Ubetimi rely, but open so won't me rely. But Nimenya is a king Ofori Atta. And by the close of this weekend, now will be PM or Ghana. Now PM or Ghana. Enti ye na ye anymore. It is better he does. It is really better. He brings himself. It is very good for him to come and change the perception of others. Because maybe persevere second Ofori Atta, probably he must be jailed. So oba na se obe yi nsema no na yi nyina ye ni wu a ye nsampa King Ofori Atta ya target no ye ka say or a corrupt person and he described as fugitive no. In fact, that King Ofori Atta is now clean as what? Quite cotton, or he is clear as crystal clear. Mega kwakam kwasi abrofo sa ade ache ne kwasi abrofo mfa jemi. King Ofori Atta is now white as what? As white as what? Filter paper. Hey, mega brofo aba. Enti abusia King Ofori Atta very soon oba be touch down in Ghana. As to so beba anaso man and branding crabia any beche. In se so TV obeba. Eti we entie any information me say eka. King Ofori Atta very soon he will touch down Ghana and answer certain questions or charges. We en sama mensa etini aka. Yankopon koso a enhira. Me ma me chibafo e United States of America ma me yankopon yo kese. Ma me roya bi o UK. Pon sharma me no bibia hwemeketi. I salute you. Macron. Bye bye.